So welcome children once again. This session is in Java children, and today we are going to study expressions in Java. So children, the last topic we did in the last video was operators, and today we are going to study expressions in Java. Now children, we must know first what is an expression. As you all write expressions, for example, you write say C is equal to A plus B, or you even write as D is equal to 10 plus 5. So children, these are expressions. When we are talking about expressions, children, we say that expression is a legal combination of variables, constants and operators. Or in other way we can say children that expression is a legal combination of operators and operands. Now what are operands children? Operands are those values on which we are working with in an expression. Now operands can children be a variable like this. It can be a variable, it can be a literal or a constant, and children it can also be in a form of a function. So we have ready-made programs called functions, and these functions helps us to evaluate values. They are like formulas, and as we use it in Excel also, the same thing applies over here. We have some sub programs called functions which we can use. So an expression can contain a variable, a literal, a mathematical function or a function, and it contains operators. So children, if you define an expression, so we say an expression is a legal combination of constants, variables, mathematical functions or functions and operators. So children, this is regarding the definition of an expression, and we are going to use this expression children at various places when we are going to do calculations, when we are going to do some logical tests, even in strings we are going to use this. So children, when we are talking about these expressions children, we have classified, or we have expressions of different types. So the expressions which we have divided are, number first is arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression. Then children, second expression is string expression. So we have the second expression called the string expression. And the third expression children is the logical, or we can say a Boolean expression. So children, we have classified our expressions into three types as arithmetic expressions, string expressions and logical expressions. So children, when we are talking about this arithmetical expression, we say that arithmetical expressions when get evaluated, they return us a numerical or a numeric answer, and when string expressions get evaluated, they return us a string value, and when logical or Boolean expression they gets evaluated, they give us a Boolean value that is either true or false. And children, most of us are working on these arithmetic values because we calculate values in Java programming or in any programming, and so we call them arithmetical expressions. So when we define an arithmetic expression, we say that arithmetic expression is a combination of numeric operands, numeric functions plus operators. And children, this arithmetic expression also we have divided into two types, which we called as pure expressions. So we define them as pure expression and we define them as mixed expression. So children, expressions in Java are divided into three expressions or three types: arithmetic expression, string expression and logical or Boolean expression. Then arithmetical expressions are those expressions which evaluate some value and returns you a numeric value. String expressions are those expressions which returns you a string value, and logical or Boolean expressions are those expressions which returns you a Boolean value. Now when we talk about arithmetic expressions is that in which we use the operands which are of numeric type, and we use the numeric operators also, so it returns us a numeric value. Now children, arithmetic operator we have defined as of two types: pure expression and mixed expression. Now children, when we come to pure expression, in pure expression, all the operands in the expression are of the same data type. So we say a pure expression, in pure expression, all the operands are of the same data type. That means it can be of two types. Number A, it can be of integer pure expression or integer expression we can say, and it can be a real expression. A real expression. So children, a pure expression is either of integer type or it is of real type. Integer type means that children, in this particular case, all the operands will be of integer type. Like 10 plus 5, 10 is an integer data type, 5 is an integer data type. So it can be of any data type of the integer type, which is byte, short, int and long. So children, all the operands are of the same data type, and when this expression gets evaluated, it also returns an integer value. So we say that an integer expression is a pure expression, and we call it a pure expression since all the operands in this expression are of the same type, and if they are of type integer, they will be called as integer pure expressions. And in this expression, when this expression gets evaluated, the value returned is also of the same type, that is integer. Now children, in real expression, in this example when we talk about that the operands are of fractional type. It may be of float data type or it may be of double data type. For example children, if we say 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5, so both the operands in this expression are of type double, we can say. And when this expression gets evaluated, you get the value 8, but you don't get the value 8 in integer form, you get it in the real form only. So when a real expression gets evaluated, all the operands must be of real type, and children, even the answer we receive of this expression must be of the same type, that is, must be of the real type. Now children, I hope you have followed these pure expressions. In pure expressions, all the operands are of the same data type, and they are of two types: integer pure expression and real pure expression or real expression. And in these expressions, children, the operands are of the same data type. In integer pure expression, all the operands which we use in the expression are of type integer, and in real expression, all the operands we use in this expression are of type real. That is, they may be either double or float, and the value returned by these expressions will be of the same data type. Now children, I come to the mixed expression. So mixed expression is that expression in which the operands are of different data type. So for example children, if I add 5 plus 2.5, now children, this data I can say is of type integer and this data is of type double. So the operands in this are of different data type. So when we talk about such an expression, we call them as mixed expression. And as I have discussed in my previous video also, children, these mixed expressions cannot get evaluated. Now a question arises, then how will these expressions get evaluated? Here comes the concept of type conversion. That means if either of the operand is of other type or if they are of different type, then they get converted into the data type of the same. That is, in this case, the double data is going to convert this integer data into double. That is automatically, and even we can do it vice versa. But that we have to do, the user has to do. That is called implicit conversion and explicit conversion, which I have already discussed in the previous video. And children, in this expression, first this integer data will get converted into double and it will get converted into 5.0. Then this double will get evaluated and you will get the answer double. So children, this is automatic type conversion which has taken place over here. And if we want to do it The other way we have to do it by the user, and that is called the explicit type conversion. So children, in arithmetical conversions we have to be very careful. Now children, here also we get a very important error which we have discussed before also. If I write an expression 1 divided by 2. Now since this is integer and this is integer, so this is again going to give us an integer answer. So it gives us an answer 0, not or 0.5. So in order to overcome this problem, what we can do, in place of writing 1 upon 2, we can write 1 upon 2.0, or we make it a mixed expression. In that case, children, this 2.0, which is of type double, is going to convert this data into double, and then we get the correct answer, that is 0.5. So children, I hope you have understood about the arithmetical expression, and this type of error which comes in the mixed expression we overcome using the type conversion concept which we have in Java. Now children, we come to the next expression, that is the string expression. Children, in the string expression we say that if either or all operands are of type string, then it is called as a string operator. Say for instance, I have A plus B, but if A and B are of type string, these variables are of type string, or if either of them are of type string, we get a string answer, and that is called a string. Say children, if I say A plus B, which is a string value, plus X, Y, Z. Now here children, X is plus sign is going to do the work of concatenation, do the work of joining, as we have discussed. This task can also be accomplished by a ready-made function which is concat, which we study later. But in this case children, the answer returned will be A, B, C, and this string will get joined together and it will be like this. So the answer is this. So we can say that a string operand, when it is combined with a string operand, it is going to return us a string value. And children, even this is first example. Then second example, if I write ABC, one operand is of type string and the other is of type integer, then we see that even in this case the answer returned is ABC5, and this again is of type string. And children, the reverse is that if we have 5 plus ABC, then again it will be called as a string expression because the value returned is 5ABC. So what it is doing children, it is just doing the work of joining of strings, and these type of expressions we call them as string expressions. I hope you have followed this. Then children, the next third type of expression is the Boolean expression or the logical expression, which is this expression we are talking about. Children, in this expression the operands may be of any type, but their values are compared with the relational or the logical operators, and according to that expression gets evaluated and it returns you either true or false. Say for example children, if I write 10 is greater than 5, this is because of this relational operator, it becomes a Boolean or a relational expression we can also say, or a Boolean expression, and it is going to return us a value true. Say if I write children 5 is greater than 10, so here the answer is false, so the value returned will be false. And children, it can also be a combination. Say if marks are greater than equal to 40 and marks are less than equal to 60. So if the marks are within the range of 40 to 60, the answer returned will be true. Otherwise, the answer returned will be false. So children, when we combine these relational operators and logical operators in an expression, then it becomes a logical, a Boolean or relational expression, and this expression returns us a Boolean value which is either true or false. Now children, I hope you have followed all these three types of expressions. Now children, in the board exams we get questions where mathematical expressions are given to us and we are asked to write them as Java expression, and mostly questions are asked on this expression. So children, before we start doing some questions on arithmetical expressions, I want to tell you some functions, although I am going to teach you the topic functions in Java as a separate topic, but because I am going to use few functions in my expressions, I am going to just explain them here, and then in detail we are going to study them when we are going to collectively study all the functions. So the functions which we are going to study are some children. First of all, the first function which we have to study is maths.pow. The function name is pow and it is coming under the class maths. So children, if I want to calculate x to the power of 5, now for this problem, for this writing this expression, we can write it as this way: maths.pow x comma y. Now children, all these mathematical functions which I am going to study here also and later, they return us a value. So functions are of two types. Some functions return you some value, they give you some value, and for some functions they just do their task and they don't return any value. Say for example, it is just like that when we go to a birthday party, many times we celebrate a birthday and we come back without bringing back anything. That is non-returnable function. And sometimes when we go to a party or a birthday party, when we come back we get a complimentary gift. That is a gift which we receive when we come back from that function. So that is returnable function. In the same way children, these functions are returning us some value, and when these functions return some value, we must know what is the data type of that value. So this mathematical function children, it returns us a double value. So whenever we are going to use this function, it is going to return us a double value. So if we want to calculate x raised to the power of y, we are going to, in this place, we are going to write down maths.pow x comma y. Say I want to calculate 2 raised to the power of 16. In that case children, I am going to write math.pow 2 comma 16. And this again is going to return me a value which will be in double. So maths.pow is the first function here I am discussing children, because this function I will be using in the expressions which are there in the board exam. Then the second function children I want to teach you here or introduce you over here is maths.sqrt. This again children returns a double value. And children, if I want to find out x under v, for such an equation, for such an expression, we can use this function in this way: math.sqrt, and we place x over here. So this function is going to calculate the square root of x, and it returns us a double value. So children, this function maths.sqrt I am going to use in the expressions. I am going to use maths.pow in the expressions. And children, the next function which is there, which I am going to use, there is a cube root function also, but we'll see if it will come in the expression. We'll discuss that also. And the next function children I am going to teach you over here is maths.abs. Now children, abs means it is giving us the absolute value of a number. Say if I write children math.absx, so children, it is going to give me the absolute value of x. That means it is going to give me this value. Absolute value children, you denote by these two lines, parallel lines across both sides of an expression or both sides of a variable. So children, if I want to calculate the absolute value, and now children, you might be knowing what an absolute value is. I hope you all know it, but I want to tell you that absolute value of a number means that if this number is -5, then the absolute value of the number is 5. And if a number is children +5, then the absolute value is 5. So the absolute value of a number is the number itself without any positive or negative sign. So if there is any sign present before a number, the absolute value removes that sign. So absolute value of -5 and +5 both will be 5. That means it is removing any positive or negative sign before the number. So children, these are the three functions which we call them as mathematical functions. There are so many, there are more than 17-18 functions which we have to study, but I am going to teach them in detail afterwards. But these functions I am going to use in my expressions. So I have discussed them, and now children, the next topic we have to do is that we have to discuss, we have to write some Java expressions of the mathematical expression. Now children, one more thing while writing the mathematical or the arithmetical expression is that when you write your arithmetical expressions, you use all the type of brackets. Like you use a round bracket or a parenthesis, you use a braces or a curly bracket, you use this box bracket in expressions. But in arithmetic expression, you cannot use this expression, braces or box bracket. Only this brackets can be used. So you have to be very careful while using these brackets. Only a round bracket or a parenthesis can be used. And children, if you want to have more than one where you have to use braces, you use this only, and you can use them. Say a bracket is there, you want to put another bracket outside it, you again put it in round bracket. If again a bracket is there, you use it. And children, these brackets or this bracket increases or raises the order of the precedence of an operator. Order of the precedence means the order in which the expression is going to get evaluated. The different operators which are present, they have different order of precedence. If you want to increase the order of precedence of a particular operator, you use this bracket. Say children, if I want to write x plus y upon z, then in that case in Java we have to write x plus y brackets, because I want this plus to be evaluated first and then I put z. Because children, over here plus and division, if you see both these operators, division gets evaluated first, then the plus operator. So if I would have written this expression x plus y divided by z, then this would have got executed first and then the addition would have got. But in this case, the plus will get evaluated first and then the division. So we can raise the order of precedence by putting these brackets. They are very important in arithmetical operators, and we can only use the round brackets. Then children, the next few things which we have to write that we cannot miss in arithmetical expression. Children, normally if I want to write x into y, we write only xy, or we put a dot between. This dot is not allowed. You can only use the arithmetical operator. So if you want to write this as Java expression, you have to write it like this. So you cannot omit any operator in a Java expression, which we can do in mathematical expression. So children, I hope when we'll be doing some expressions in Java, you are going to follow each and everything. If there is any problem, we can discuss it. And thank you for this video, children. We still have one more video in expressions in Java, and that we are going to continue in the next video. Thank you very much, children.